Good morning, everybody. I'm live just a few minutes early. Because why not? How are you all today? I am picking out some fabrics for an experiment I want to do this morning. I hope you're all having a good day, a good week. It's been interesting here in the Pacific Northwest, to say the least. I guess I had 2 viewers and now I have no viewers. Okay. Anyway, we're just waiting for people to come. I'm just sitting here by myself at the desk. We have a little bit of a different angle. This is my computer desk. Thought we would try it and see if we have any issues with buffering today. Because when I'm broadcasting, I am broadcasting with the desktop, which we're looking at right now, and watching on the iPad. And the iPad buffers. So I'm not sure if it's my signal from the computer or if it's YouTube or Wi-Fi or I don't know. So I thought we'd give it a shot and experiment this morning. So we're at the computer desk and I am picking out a few fabrics because I want to do an experiment making some hexagons for some English paper piecing. And I just thought I'd pop in a little early because I was ready. So here we are. These are, I think they're called charm packs. Charm packs, I think. Let's see. I have a few others over here. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. I have this thing about bees. I don't know what the thing with me lately with bees is, but yeah. Okay. So good morning. Good morning. All right. So this is probably the one thing I'm going to miss my silhouette for is cutting these out. So if one of you has a silhouette who's an art friend of mine and I send you at some point a silhouette file and say, hey, can you cut a whole bunch of these for me? Now you know why. These are little cardstock hexagons. I'm getting rid of my silhouette. Good morning, Kim Marie. My silhouette drives me crazy. I have a silhouette portrait and it's just the only thing I'm able to successfully cut on it without wanting to rip my hair out are these little hexagons. So, and I have these as a file. So at some point, like I said, if I end up sending one of you the file and say, can you cut like me 100 of these? Like, don't be surprised. Because yeah, that's a thing. Anyway, so I thought we would do some experimenting this morning. I like to do one of my slow stitching things I'm liking doing is English paper piecing, and I like having these done ahead of time. I'm sorry, I'm just like kind of scattered this morning. Anybody else? Before we get started with this, yes, those of you who follow me on social media and here on YouTube know we've had some fires on the West Coast, and I'm not too far from some of the big Oregon fires, and we are good now, but our air quality at one point was 501. So it's much improved now, and I'm able to go outside and go walking. Yay. But we're all good. They are getting control of the fires and making progress. So yay. Now we just have COVID to worry about. So English paper piecing, I don't know a ton about it, and I'm pretty new to it. It's a way of doing applique work on quilts. That's, of course, not what I use it for. There's lots of different ways to do it, but traditionally what you do is you take your shape and you wrap the fabric around the shape, and you baste around the edges, and then you give it a press. That's a lot of steps for me. And then you have to rip the stitches out. So I'm not really about that. So I like using this sewing basting glue, which by Sewline, which I get at Amazon, which is really great. But I saw recently somebody used Elmer's washable school glue, which had never occurred to me. Why can't you use that? It's a washable school glue. So we're going to try it this morning and see how it works. So I'm going to just put my hexagon on the fabric, and then I just cut, leaving about 1/4 of an inch. I need to do the cover on my slow stitch book. If you follow Ann Brook Textile Artist, then you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, look her up here on YouTube. And this is my book, and all the pages are done in it. Oops, where are we? There we are. Oop. All the pages are done in it except for the cover. I'm trying to figure out. There we go. So I need to do the cover now. Yeah. So I need to do the cover now. So I want to put some of these on there though. So usually what I do is I take my glue stick and I just run it around the edge of the cardstock. And then just fold it over. But you know, I haven't seen these glue sticks in stock anywhere in the shops. Not that I've been out to lots of shops lately because hello COVID. So you have to get it at Amazon, but you know, Elmer's washable glue you can find everywhere, including Dollar Tree. So if it works, how great would that be? So then you just fold it over, push it down, and then you're ready to do some English paper piecing. Hey, Kathy. So that's one done with the Sewline. And I know the Sewline works really well because I have a whole bunch of them here in the jar. Whoops, as I throw them everywhere. So then let's try the Elmer's because I want to see if that works. Let's try this one. So again, I'm going to find a place on the fabric. You don't have to be super neat about cutting these out. So, you know, right up my alley. We're going to do some kind of daily art challenge for October in my art Facebook groups, both of them. By popular vote, we're calling it Artpocalypse 2020. And there's a prompted words list, which I will be releasing probably Monday next week. And so you guys can all get ready. You know what? That works really well. Yeah. Next week's live, though, has to be probably on Wednesday because I have a telehealth doctor visit on Tuesday. Only day they could do it Tuesday is Tuesday. You know, they want to do one of those annual reviews of my medication. Fun times. Good morning, Lisa. So, and the only day she could do it was Tuesday. So next week, I think we'll try broadcasting on Wednesday. And we'll talk about what I'm going to do for October. You know what? The Elmer's glue works great. So this is the one done with the Elmer's washable, this one. And this is the one done with the Soline basting glue. So whether you end up using these in your mixed media and just gluing them down as is, or you start sewing them together for some English paper piecing, you don't need special basting glue. If you're like me and you don't want to stitch it, you don't need to go get one of these. You can just go get some Elmer's washable glue. That works just great. Yeah, right now I need to work on the cover of my slow stitch book. And for that, I wanted to put some hexagons on the cover since there's lots of them in the book. And I also wanted to experiment with the different kinds of glue, Lisa. And yeah, the Elmer's glue seems to work really well. So Elmer's washable school glue. This one is easier if you're taking your slow stitch traveling. This one is easier to travel with because it's thinner and smaller. But this is cheap. You can get Elmer's washable school glue sticks at the Dollar Tree. All right, let's do a couple more because I need some for my book. The question is, which ones do I want to use? I pulled out a bunch of fabrics as we were going live. I don't know. So our poor Lisa is in one of the smoky affected areas of California, for those that are unaware. The air is clear up here where I am, but I think it's kind of icky where Lisa is. Yeah, so Lisa, as you know, I'm letting go of my silhouette portrait, and I like these little hexagons because they work for lots of things. I usually cut them on the silhouette. This one is 1.25 inches. So I'm going to probably need to find 1.25 inch hexagon die, if you guys know of one, because I'm letting go of the silhouette. Either that or one of you who has a silhouette and wants to cut in a bunch for me. Yes, because yeah, my silhouette pissed me off this week. You know, I got up to look for fabric and it's right next to me. Hello. So if I want to make some of these to actually use on that cover, then I should probably use fabrics I've been using for the cover. We'll make some out of this one and this one and this one. Good morning, Linda. Yeah, I know we're getting rain. I'm not sure Lisa is. We'll make some more bees too. In fact, we're supposed to get rain starting like tomorrow through Saturday. Okay, so now that I know that glue works, of course, we don't throw the little scraps away because this can be used as cabbage and stuffing for, you know, making pin cushions or little pillows or something like that, right? We're getting rain, thank goodness. I felt like I was in jail. I mean, I don't mind staying at home and being a homebody. I'm an introvert, but you know, only when it's my idea, not when it's not when you tell me you have to. That's a whole different thing. Okay, that one's too small. All right, let's cut some of these. Oh, there's a little piece right there. That'll work. Let's see. Oh, they measure the side. Okay, so if you measure the side on these, I need my reading glasses. Hold on. It's a 3/4 of an inch if you measure just the flat side. It's a little teeny tiny hexagon. Again, if one of you has a silhouette cutting machine and you like it and you know how to use it, then let me know because I'll send you the file. Yeah, Estella, I'm for those that don't know, I'm a California native, born and raised, and I have so many friends and family down there. I hope that you guys get some relief soon. I mean, California always has a fire issue every year, but this year is worse than others. So these little hexagons are great to do with those like bigger scraps that you don't really know what to do with, but you don't want to throw away. Usually what I do is I just sit and go through the scraps at the end of a project, pull stuff out that I want to make into cabbage like this, take other stuff I want to make hexagons out of. And I just make a whole bunch, which is why my little jar is full. Let's see. Yeah, it's actually just under an inch, Lisa. It's about 3/4 of an inch. Oops. See? It's about 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, I have a Big Shot, Kathy. And so when I want to do something like this, I usually prefer to use a Big Shot. Honestly, anymore, the only couple times I was pulling the silhouette out was either to make these or to cut stickers. And stickers for myself out of my own artwork, but also for the Etsy shop. And to be honest, we're going to be transitioning the whole Etsy shop sticker thing. And I'm going to be cutting them by hand because it's just the silhouette, just the software frustrates me. I hope that that changes, Lisa, and that you guys get some relief. I have to admit to you all, it's kind of weird sitting here working at the computer desk. Yeah, I love the Big Shot. It works really well. It's a good machine. And honestly, these days, I have very little patience for electronics that don't want to work easily. If you need an engineering degree to use the software, it's not happening in this house. I'm not stupid, but I just don't have the patience for it. So once you get a bunch of these made, you can go press them. I don't generally, I just stick them in my jar. But I'll show you how I sew them together. For those that have never done this before. Yeah, I'm gonna be checking online later, Lisa, because yeah, the more I've thought about it, the more I've thought that the silhouette needs to go. I do have it listed for sale in a couple of different online places, but there's no takers. If one of you all is interested, private message me. It comes with rolls of the sticky vinyl stuff and the iron-on stuff and extra blades, extra mats. Like, I'm getting rid of all of it. I'll cut out one more. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do this morning because I have, as usual, like 10 projects on the desk. Having trouble focusing this morning because, hello, Corona brain. So this is something that's kind of nice to do, when you're just in your creative space and you need to sort of de-stress, but you need to not have to think too much. This doesn't require lots of brain power. And, usually, again, like with the slow stitching, it's one of those things that I'll just turn up the music. Sometimes I get really crazy. I turn off the computer. I plug in this. Who recognizes that? It's like Generation 2, I think. It has a water spot in there. You go. See the moisture spot, but it still works. So I'll plug that in and I'll play some music. No computers. I will bring my phone upstairs because it's happened a couple of times where the phone rings and it's downstairs, and that's kind of a pain in the neck. So I'll bring the phone up, but I'll turn it to silent and just sit and create. And that's a great way to de-stress. And right now, don't we all need that? So these are... So you just sit and you just glue all the edges. Now, if you were going to be traditional about this, those of you who have done this before know, you would sit and you would baste all these. I would much rather glue this because this is much quicker. And after you sew them down or sew them together, you have to take the little piece of paper out or the stitches. And so that's a lot of extra steps you don't need to do. Hello, Tanya. How are you? We're working on some more slow stitching today and just having a chat here at the computer desk. To be honest, because I couldn't decide on what project to do this morning. And I was just announcing too, for everybody who missed it, who's just joining, because what time is it? 10:12. For everybody who's just joining, next week we will have a live, but it'll probably be Wednesday instead of Tuesday because I have a telehealth medication review with my doctor, and she could only do it Tuesday. So we have some new logos and branding coming out for my art business and social media soon over the next couple months. My daughter is in graphic design and marketing and advertising, and she's been helping me. We finally, after a few months of back and forth, and mom, a few statements like, God, mom, just pick one. We finally decided on something. And so that's coming out soon. There are some sticker flakes that are coming out. I am creating the sticker flakes here at home. I'm hand cutting said sticker flakes after printing them. So there will never be a ton of them in the Etsy shop because they take a while to do. That being said, I'm keeping the cost down as much as I can. And so things like that will be coming soon. Heck, if some of you want to have like some of these hexagons and things and, don't want to be bothered making them, I could glue a bunch of them up and put those in little kits too. If you all are interested, let me know what you'd like to see. There will be some stuff in the Etsy shop that's there right now that'll be going away, or that already has gone away. So you just sit and you just glue them up like this. De-stressing, and whether you need to do something like this, Estella, and that you don't have to think about, or maybe writing is your jam, and when you're stressed out, cool. Painting, something that doesn't require. One thing I find I can't do when I'm super stressed is something like cross stitch, because it requires too much brain power for me when I'm stressed out to have to sit there and count. And then if I miss one, I get really mad and it just makes my stress horrible. So I just can't do that. But things I don't have to really think about that I can do without thinking too much, like these, this is great. And Kathy, sticker flakes are just like sets of loose stickers. They're not on a sheet. They're already cut out and you just peel the back off and stick them down. They're not loose on a sheet, or they're not on a sheet. They're just loose. There really aren't any different. I think generally sticker flakes are small. Mine are not super small. But it's just a collection of like loose stickers. Generally when you buy your stickers, they're on a sheet of sticky paper. And sticker flakes are generally loose and already cut out from that paper. I find I like flakes better because when I'm doing something like traveling with my work and my journals, flakes are easier to travel with, I think. I can actually preview some of the stickers. Let me glue this one first. I have the sheets printed and I've got them actually on the table behind me. Yeah, mellow music, a cup of tea. When I'm really, really stressed, you can tell because I like all kinds of music. I have not yet heard a kind of music I don't like, unless it involves lots of racism or foul language. Some foul language I'm okay with. I'm a big fan of Pink, and some of her music has some words in it, but I have to be in the mood. And if I'm really stressed out, I listen to classical music. And although I'm I'm not a super great practicing Catholic, I do listen to church hymns. So these are hexagons. And then what we're going to do is find a sewing needle, one that's not like ginormous. This one has actual regular thread on it. Yeah, let's zoom in just a little bit. See, this is a nice thing about being at the desk because I can just zoom in for you all. Rearrange the screens a little bit. There we go. I figured out how to zoom in with the camera. Isn't that nice? Close your eyes if you get dizzy easy. Hang on. So I'm going to get it to autofocus. Okay. Yeah, I like all kinds of music. There's not a kind of music I don't like, really. I mean, music with racism, I'm not really okay with. But, and I have a potty mouth, so foul language doesn't really offend me. But I kind of have to be in the right frame of mind. So what you do is you just put 2 of your hexagons face to face, come up into one corner, and then pull a couple, just you're just grabbing a couple of threads. Oh, this is some of that vintage thread. Hold on. I need to get different thread. Hang on, hold the phone. Let's get some different thread. Thread is nice and thin, but it breaks really easy. And I tend to be a gorilla with pulling thread, so. Okay, one more time. So I've got my 2 hexagons face to face. I'm going to take my knot and I'm going to fold it kind of flat and try to catch it in some stitches. Yeah, I wouldn't consider myself a practicing Catholic, but I do like church hymns, especially when I'm stressed out. I also love Andrea Bocelli. So then you just do that until you have them sewn together. Usually I do like 3. So then that's all sewn together. Yes. Ave Maria is my favorite one. So I have all these other ones we made. The question is, do I want to put one of these? Do I want to put something from here? Because, that's always a possibility. Like right there somewhere, I'm thinking. What do you all think? Maybe that one. Actually, that looks nice. So that's the nice thing about having like a, bunch of different ones. So then I would match this one up here with the flowered one, and then we'll start here in the corner and we'll go across this way. Again, I'm only grabbing like a couple of threads from the fabric each time and like trying to poke around with the needle and grab the fabric that's not attached to the cardboard. So trying to just grab the fabric and not the cardstock. If you're like me, you're going to need to put your reading glasses on because, it's little. If you're into painting and art journaling, you definitely can do these kind of things and combine it with your art journaling because you can make these little sort of assortments of attached hexagons and then glue them down to your art journal page, staple them into your art journal page, something like that. Okay, we're going to tie this one off. I'm going to do this. Let's see. Hide the loose ends so they're not sticking out. Okay, now we're going to attach this here. So I try to do this without actually folding it. Just bend it a little bit. If you do this right, you can use your little hexagons over and over again. Tula Pink, who is a textile artist and fabric designer, among other things, is here on YouTube on a few different channels besides her own, I believe. She has a whole series on English paper piecing, which is very, very helpful. She also designs some really great fabric. Okay. Ouch. Try not to poke yourself because blood on the slow stitching is a bad idea. Just saying. Trust me, from somebody who's gotten blood on the slow stitching. I recently spilled watercolor paint on some fabric. So that piece of fabric, we're just going to have to go in with it. It depends on your mood. Yeah, I'm finding that for the most part, when I'm really stressed out, I need just something with just music, no words. There's kind of a longish story behind it, which we won't get into, but I get really stressed out when I'm driving. And so when I'm driving, I have always, most of the time, I have classical music on because I just, the whole process just stresses me out. Okay, so now that one's done. Hey, Marion, how are you? I thought I would start on March